Who is the most erudite among us? It's me. Whoa! Open up! There it is! Erudition. On this fine day where we have explored pretty much every single thing that we can explore, except for one that I can see. We, in our last playthrough, just defeated the Fire Giant. Made it all the way to the Forge of the Giants. And there, Melina asked me if I'm ready to sin. She says, yo, is it sinning time? And I said no. And then I turned off my stream, which was such a cool move. Such a cool move for me. But some of the last things that I spoke of, when we first crossed this great bridge, there's actually a map right here by the Giant's gravepost. And this map revealed not just this remaining area in the Mountaintops of the Giants, which, as you can see, is the name of this, but it also revealed Crumbling Farum Azula, which I kind of expected. I expected this to be a little bit like our underground regions, where it would have its own map, its own fragment, at that point in time. But the fact that this was revealed up here makes me think that there's some connection between this area and that area. I don't know if this is a stretch, but I'm thinking about this for when we first got into the Shifra River Valley, and we actually received a map for this overground area in Nokron, the Eternal City, from below. So, you know, the fact that these two different areas are connected makes me be like, oh, okay, this is something that I want to figure out. Now, Melina has suggested that it's time to burn down this whole Erd tree, and if given the option to, oh yeah, we're sending that shit to the ground. Other notable things that have happened recently, we defeated the Blade of Melina. We also still have not done the War Dead Catacombs. That's another thing that we need to do. But, I mean, I've pretty much done all the underground stuff. We found the Mogwin Dynasty. We found Mog himself. We found Mikola in an egg. This game's just incredible. So I think that we should begin the day with some sinning. I'm going to go ahead and make the walk. So we just enjoy the views. And I mean, pretty much everything that I feel like I have been able to see, I have gone to. Lizzie Love says, hey Sean, I played Elden Ring very similarly to you. I was offline, I avoid all spoilers. I found the summon icon that appears when you can summon. Spoiled it to a lesser extent. Whenever I saw a pop-up, I knew something was coming. Wish there was a way to turn that off. I actually don't think I've seen that. I haven't really gotten anything notable. I mean, there's been a few times where, for instance, you know, I could summon that Jar Warrior. But I mean, even then, I don't really mind small cues that something dramatic is happening. Something dramatic is coming. You know, for instance, when, what is a good example of a boss lead up? Right here in Nokron, there's this path up here. This is the aqueduct facing cliff, and this is the... Ah, yeah, that's right. So we have some other things that we can journey through here, and then when we walk up through these various other structures, there's kind of this long procession, this long climb up, and then you actually get to these gargoyles. Or like with Mog, you know, where there's this large elevator that leads into this giant structure. You know, little things like that I feel like are some interesting ceremony. Talk to Melina.
Are you ready to commit a cardinal sin?
Yep.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Is this the end? Hey, thanks, Book Couch Man. Hey, welcome back, Arkesis. Souls of Lords. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Some of the music from the very opening menu screen.
O Erd Tree, you shall burn.
Let's go. Let chaos reign. Wait, it actually...
For the sake of the new Lord.
It actually is just gonna burn right now? There's no steps in between? Very well.
Thank you for guiding me here.
One eye closed, just like Guts from Berserk. Everything's a Berserk reference. Everything's a Berserk reference in this game.
The one who walks alongside Flame shall one day meet the road of destined death.
Yo, who's destined death, man?
Goodbye.
See ya. The scariest thing that I've ever seen. Jesus, that is so scary. I want to see the Erd Tree aflame, dude. Sick. Not sick. Not sick in the slightest. Very not sick. Not even that cool, to be real. Alright, this is the game. I mean, that's just insane. Yeah, that's some real erudition, wasn't it, Camdecop? Pretty erudite, if I may say so myself. Alright. That is legitimately so terrifying. What an incredible final zone, man. What an incredible... Well, I don't actually know if it's the final zone. I assume that with the tree burning, I kind of want to go back to the capital. I just want to actually get to a bonfire here first. Hey. I recognize these guys. This is the Beastmen of Farum Azula. Fought you in some caves, man. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, the Beastmen of Farum Azula? In Farum Azula? No, it can't be. Alright, I see. I assume that's my first bonfire there. Alright. That's literally, that scares me so much. Oh my god. That's the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life, dude. Oh my god, in a game, that's like actually so terrifying. So it doesn't let me teleport out of here? Really? Let me just wait until I can actually get my head out in the open. Oh, I'm still not allowed to teleport out? Really? Ixidor! Jesus Christ. Gifting 20! What up, Ixidor? What up, Ixidor? Sneaky Birds, my girlfriend's playing, and she calls this area Kansas because of you. That's right, this is literally what my home state looks like, except there's just a lot more chain restaurants all around, like cheesecake factories and shit. Ixidor's bonfire break. Day 9 TV. I quit my marketing job that I didn't like in January with pretty much no plan. Just got off the phone with a new company and got an offer and a big raise with my last position. Just wanted to thank you as the stream and this playthrough kept me sane during the jobless period of the past couple of months. Well, hey, congrats, man. I'm thrilled to hear it. And thank you again for the support. I mean, it's actually... This isn't like a boss dragon, this is just like... just some fucking dragon, yeah. Shit. Dude, tracking is really bad. Tracking is super rough there. I'm surprised it's not a boss, to be honest. Actually, so I can't actually leave this island. Interesting. No horsing around either. Jump stab. Jump stab. Alright, I mean, the camera is killing me. The camera is just annihilating me. Do this. Fly. This is, I like this location. And yeah, I now recall that you can actually, the game wants you to rest at the site of grace before you teleport. I always forget about that. It's actually on fire. Going to the East Capitol Rampart. I'm so curious. I'm so curious. Dude, I'm just like wandering around. Alright, okay. Crumbling Beast Grave. Kevin Mad Dogs, hey Sean, have you lost body mass? Nah, I just got a haircut. It's time. It's time to bomb. Ugh. Technically that would be body mass. I guess that's true. That is actually so scary and so well done. Dude. I literally, like, this camera is so difficult. so I actually don't want... I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna, like, tank some hits and try to feel my way through. So I'm going to change my flask allocation. I mean, we're pretty close with, honestly, a pretty clumsy execution, which was great. Alright, here we go. 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 Let's level up. No, not level up. Flasks. Let's allocate all the way back to health. Wish this dragon had a name. Well, if it does, it's going to end in a G or an X. Those are the letters that end dragon names, man. Smaug. Some wind-up stuff, I gotta be... Okay, so that's one I need to be really mindful of. I seem to literally never be able to dodge that. That one gets me. Your tail. I need to figure out how to dodge or block. Double select. Put her tail. Oh, it always gets me. I rolled way too early. Feels like cheating. Dragons shouldn't be allowed to fly. I know, right? If I do this, I think I'll be a medium load, right? See if we can do this. Flame, grant me strength. Please shield vitality. Nice team liquid. Sure, dude, fuck you. working it, we're working it, we're working it. God damn. Rats. Shit. Man. Well, I think I like the strategy quite a bit. I mean, the good thing is that if I actually look in my equipment, this thing has pretty good guard block. Like, 82 physical's quite good. Yeah, I don't know what it was. The Fire Giant and Radon both felt very manageable for me. I think, like, I just had an absolutely, like, incredibly fortunate first run with Fire Giant, where it was like, I found a really big window. Alright, alright. That's the one that's really hard to avoid unless I run real fast. Oh, you can hit me that far forward. Okay, very well. One more. Jesus. And a mere 30,000 souls. Very good. Very good. 30,000, that's it. Now this is where it turns out this place is full of those fucking guys. Alright. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, okay. It's right here. Alright. Smithing Stone 8. Hell yes. Dude, I'm so curious. If I do this... and if I actually sit, does he come back? That would be so funny. Is he just there? Did he drop anything? He dropped an ancient smithing stone. But the audio of that tornado, literally, my heart pounds when I hear it, man. As long as I don't have to go closer to the tornado. The fact that it's not moving is so nice. Oh my god. I'm wondering lore-wise what the reasoning of being hurled towards Farum Azula is. Whether it was one of these, you know, get out of here while the Erd Tree burns kind of experience. Smithing Stone 7. Dude, if we get enough Smithing Stone 8s, we can actually upgrade our Fingerprint Stone Shield to 25. We're gonna be so huge. So host and so boss. Now, why would you give me another summon? No? I just live in KCMO now. There's usually a couple of NATOs in the vicinity a year. Dude, tornado alarms, tornado sirens are like the scariest fucking thing ever. I hated tornado drills. Let me tell you, if you watch any fiction, they show you how little keeping your... You know, you're like, alright everyone, just duck your head. Tuck it like this, and let's sit in the basement of the school. Ow. By the way, this is Dragix. Yeah, I just want to see Sean's reaction to the Erd Tree cutscene finally getting here. I see. You are referring to the past. I was like, no! Spoilers! So do we want to go up? Do we want to go down? Go this way. This is so good. My favorite thing about this, like, Spectral Lance, is that it staggers like that. All just the staggering, stance breaking. What level are we? I think we're 167. Actually, I was showing this earlier part of the stream. What did you think about the sequence leading up here? I kind of wish that the game actually prevented me from going any farther outside of this, because I immediately went over to the herb tree and it's just burning. And this is something that, like, I think Hollow Knight did a really brilliant job of. The game, in a very literal sense, puts the capital at the center of everything, right? And the herb tree at the center of everything. All you are doing is working towards this capital city. It's in the main city. And it's probably also the largest in terms of, like, number of hours spendable. Do I actually wind up going out there? Interesting. I actually think that I can make my way back this way. Yeah, I mean, it's the most time spendable area in the game. Actually, let me fix that real quick. No, I'm gonna leave it be for a little bit. Leave the audio be for a little bit. It'll fix itself in a sec. Anyways, what the hell am I talking about? That, oh shit, elevator there. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, so in Hollow Knight, this is a mild spoiler, but I don't give a shit. This is my stream. Hollow Knight, in the game, you have this really basic area called the Crossroads that later on in the game transforms into something completely different. And so it's really cool because there's this idea of staleness that can happen in games like this, where Limgrave, for instance, now that it's been checked off my list, I'm just never going to go back here. Still don't know what these Coliseums do. I've kind of resigned to the fact that I'm never going to find out. Right, you kind of get done with this and you cross this off. And what's really lovely is, in Hollow Knight, because you have this entire experience of the infected or the original Crossroads, and then you return to the infected Crossroads. Same area, but set up differently. It gives this sense of the world changing, the world progressing. And I was kind of hoping to see some sort of transformation of the tree due to the fact that it's literally on fire. But maybe when I'm actually able to get into the tree. I'll kind of have that sense of an area that's actually burning and different and that sort of thing. Oh yeah, Limgrave having a big hole in it is another really great example of transforming the space. And I thought Caelid and Limgrave had really elegant... really elegant transformations like that. How many more smithing stone 8s do we need? We need 4. Because if I look at my equipment, this is a fingerprint stone shield 23. Oh, and then 24 would be 6. So actually might be 1 off. We know we just have enough. Alright. Next time I get to a bonfire, I'm in. You going back to Lanedale? Yeah, we just went back to Lanedale to dig. And you can see the tree burning high atop the, high above. I find this to be infinitely pleasing every time. Says, I also tend to agree. Where the open world nature of the game hindered it. Well, it depends if you're referring to there's a specific thing about open worlds that are a hindrance to a particular type of experience. It says this area would have been great as an area you needed to complete, especially since it asked you to confirm your choice too. I also see how it would be a problem all of a sudden creating this restriction that is totally different from the rest of the game. Maybe if it warned you. Or, yeah, because I think that maybe you might be responding to someone else, because I think I don't exactly know what you're referring to in that regard. But, I mean, I actually think that the open worldiness in this game was a huge boon. I think it helped the game magnificently. Because I think that I first really experienced it with Margaret the Fell Omen. Where Margit, that guy just fucking like Ancient Dragon Prayer Book, hell yeah. That guy, I was having fun, but then I just kind of didn't feel. Jesus, that audio just makes me feel so uncomfortable. Yeah, but with Margaret the Fellow, it's just like, dude, I want to go somewhere else. I just don't really feel like playing against him. So I didn't. I should start checking out this area. Getting as far as let you down? Not really. I mean, I actually think that this game is stunning. It's absolutely fucking stunning. And I've been thinking a lot about, talking to people a lot about this idea of, like, there's this interesting quality to games. I don't know what it is about games where people feel this compulsion to explain how the game should be different. I don't know what it is about games that does this. Because, like, for instance, if I see a movie and I didn't like it, I say, yeah, I didn't like that movie. Thought it was dumb. Or even there's people that will say things like, I think Marvel movies are trash movies. But there's this really weird thing where, like, no one watches a scene in a movie and regularly afterwards goes, yeah, you know, I didn't like that movie very much. I think that in the third act, when those characters sat down to talk about this, they needed to change the dialogue in this way and change the cinematography to be this kind of angle. Like, people will remark that they thought scenes were stupid. But again, I don't really see people. This way. I don't really see people regularly describe, okay, they should have changed this to that and that to this and this to that and that to this in anywhere near the volume that they do with games. Yeah, and to be clear, I know some of you are like, I do that. I've done that. But I mean, I'm talking like in terms of the comparative volume. Like, with games, there's something about games where I see almost every game I have ever heard anyone play, ever seen anyone play. I always got some thoughts about how things should be changed, and yeah, I really think that this would have been better this way, and this should have been changed to that, and that should have been changed to this. And I mean, I think it's fundamentally because games are participatory. Movies are not. Like, if you watch The Matrix, you saw the same movie that I saw. I'm the only person playing this Elden Ring in this direction. there's often some broad stroke comments that people will make, like, is season 2 of that TV series, gosh, I really wish they instead focused more on this character. I didn't like the direction they went in with that character, but again, it's very descriptive and not very prescriptive. I find people give lots of descriptive, ooh, dude, I hated that feedback. I wish it was a little different, you know, but there's not this, all right, you know, like, I really think that this should not have been an open world game. They should have taken all the good castles and linked them together in this way. It would have been way stronger in this fashion. Here, let me backstab you. And I just find that super interesting. And you know, the reason I'm saying this, I've just been having some discussions with people about this idea of, like, you know, what is the nature, the fundamental nature of what the game is and what the game isn't. Because every game can't be every single thing to every single person. So, for instance, I really, really like romance. I really like Korean dramas. I love clapping and applauding with my wife when finally the guy realizes that he does love her and needs to say it. Oh, it's the best. It's so good. I don't know if any of you have ever watched a movie that was like trying to be a romance and an action movie. Because it was trying to be a romance and an action movie, it wound up just not really feeling like it had enough action or enough romance. They kind of cut the baby in half, if you know what I mean. Have there been action movies that successfully had some romance? Absolutely. But, you know, there does come a point where if you say, okay, this is actually a really awesome world-building piece, or a really awesome world-building movie, and an awesome romance movie, and an awesome action movie, and a really quiet, still, contemplative sci-fi movie, you know, like, there comes a point where someone's going to give you the feedback, yo, man, look, you just gotta, like you're doing too many different things, and it's kind of like losing an identity. It's losing a sense of what it is. And again, I'm sort of saying this conceptually, right? Like, I'm sure many of you can find examples of a movie that did, like, 2 things. But, you know, it's kind of hard to find a movie that does, like, 7 things. There does start to be a point where if you're actually interested in exploring a deep philosophical concept in a movie, that's literally going to require some amount of minutes to allow that to occur. Just literally you need to spend some minutes of time doing that. Fucking sick. And then if you want to have... This is the game. And then if you want to have some sweet action sequences, that's going to take some minutes. And then if you want to have some really cool world building, that's going to take some minutes. And at a point, if I watch a romance show, what? Please tell me you're here, because I want to upgrade my shield. Alright, I'm going to finish this point. So I'm making a relatively soft point, which is that if you want to have romance that's compelling, that has an arc, that has change, that has progression, you need some minutes in your movie. If you want to have an action movie that has a lot of great action sequences, that's going to be some minutes. If you want to be doing some really cool world building and show what life is like in this interesting world you've built, that's going to take some minutes. And at some point, if you have 90 minutes, you literally can't do everything that you want to do in that movie, and we sort of understand and acknowledge that. But the thing that I find interesting about games is there's this thing about games that makes people want to be participatory in how they think the game should have been, in the way that I don't see in anywhere near the volume in other types of media. And then, like, and I bring this up because when you have something like Elden Ring, you know what Elden Ring just will not have compared to Dark Souls 1? that feeling of extremely tightly designed sequence after sequence after sequence after sequence. I can literally close my eyes and imagine going from the Firelink Shrine up the stairwell, through the aqueduct, entering into the Undead Burg, battling through all those guys, having the dragons sweep over and roast some shit, getting that first bonfire, crossing that one bridge where there's the room at the diagonal where the guy comes at you from behind from both sides while everyone's throwing fire bombs, and then working all the way through to where you get the first 3 gold pine resins, and then you climb up the rampart where have all the rocks at the bottom, and at the top you wind up fighting that porous beast fucker. Going back down, and then there's the bridge that you can look down and you can see where you just were. Like, holy shit. The intertwined, gnarled design of that only happens because the entire game is built to have that be the focus. Period. And because this game has this open world element, I mean, like, in this first area, you just literally don't get that at all. Stormvale Castle is the first place where you actually get that. And so there's actually a trade-off. There's an exchange. There's the exchange where, okay, by letting me kind of wander around and dilly-dally and go wherever, you also avoid the problem of Dark Souls 1, which is, I'm really tired of trying to beat these fucking gargoyles. I'm exhausted. I do not want to fight the gargoyles ever again. And the game says, fuck you, keep playing against the gargoyles.
I knew you'd lay out your arm.
Fuck yeah. 90 guard boost, man. Fuck yeah. Brilliant. So I postulate that the Table of Lost Grace is here because in Lanedale, this structure right here is what we're in. Right? This is the fortified manor, first floor. The tree is burning, so I assume that because this entire area is connected to the 2 fingers. Holy shit. Holy shit. See you later, D. Oh, this is beautiful. This is exactly what I was talking about. Remember, I was like, man, I'm disappointed that there wasn't like a transformation based upon this huge action. And then I go back and here's the transformation. I need to shut the fuck up. Oh, we've sinned, Usherheart. We've sinned. I wonder if this is... I don't know. I haven't spent lots of time looking into the lore of why in the other Souls games you can invade other people's worlds and even what that means. I haven't actually checked that sort of stuff out. But I mean, I sincerely bet that those similar ideas, if I read into them, would help make sense of what's happening here. No hugging. Alright. Don't you wish that's how mirrors actually worked? I mean, this is... I wonder if, like, any of the art has changed, you know? Because I feel like, again, this place I don't think is actually in the tree. I think. I pause it. I've always wondered what the hell this thing is. Let's go see what these two fingers are about in a sec. How long has this guy been here? How the fuck long has this guy been here? Holy shit. Fuck long has that guy been there, man? Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Yeah, by the way, let me just clear chat, because I see people, oh, Dana, did you know this? I am a broadcaster. I will be sharing what's going on in my head. No spoilers, no backseating, no answering questions unless I am really explicit about it. If I go, holy shit, how the fuck long has that guy been there? I'm just sharing that I'm surprised. I didn't say, hey, all of you, please, I'm ready for this particular piece of information. Tell me right now. We are just sharing what's going on in our head. I'm not entirely sure if this area was opened up before. So curious. Dude, I wonder how long that guy's been there. I mean, I didn't even go up and talk to him once. Alright, where's the all-knowing?
You burned the Earth Tree, didn't you? Then the Roundtable is soon to follow. No need to fret about that. The Roundtable holds serve to put a tarnished upon the throne of Elden Lord. And if the Earth Tree needed to burn for that to happen, then the Roundtable must go as well. I'll stay at the Roundtable for a time. I must learn all that can be taken from this place, and sear it into my memory. How could I call myself the All-Knowing if I did any less? The pursuit of knowledge is without end. For knowledge is never a thing complete. Thus, I maintain the mantle of all-knowing. Perhaps the same could be said of guidance. Who's to say whether we'll remain who we are once the fight is finished? What do you think? As one who aspires to become Elden Lord. Well...
Man, again, like, this is... I love Miyazaki's comment about dignity. Just doing and acting with dignity. Loathsome dung eater. I actually don't even know if that guy is the loathsome dung eater. I feel like I've mixed some characters in my brain. Hello.
Take a look around. The Roundtable hold is burned. Don't worry. I'll continue spiritually, which is why I need your help. Persuading Master Hugh to leave. His roots are so knotted in this place.
Oh, it's so sad.
He won't last much longer if he stays. His shackles are broken. It's high time he put...
Yo, Hugh. Leave.
Lay out your arm.
Why are you still making weapons?
You listening? As I've always said, you came to challenge the demigods and their god, to slay them. And as long as you do, I will always smith your weapons. It is what I wish. To smith a weapon for you to slay a god.
Alright. Trigger says Mike cuts off a bit of the subs. Oh, you mean a bit of the subtitles? That's one of the subscribers.
For some spirit
Yeah, I don't give a shit. You can hear him. You can hear him. You can hear him just fine.
Oh, is that right? So, Master, you have my... I'll try and... I know it was good to craft a weapon which could slay a god. Though I can't help but think of it as a fearsome curse. Put on him by Queen Marika. And if that's the case, I'm not sure there's anything we can do.
I mean, I don't remember who the fuck is whose kid's son. Because it's like Marika and Radagon. It's like, what is it? Like, I can't remember who fucking gave birth to who and who left who to do what with which thing and that, this, and the other. Because there's... Because the kids, my understanding is that Radon, Renala, and Rykard are all siblings. Are all siblings.
Lay out your arm. I've upset the girl. She says that now my chains are broken, I'm free. But if I stay here, I will... Will you survive for freedom now? I smith weapons to slay a god. I have lived and will die doing so upon this spot. Is there any other way?
Jesus. It's so sad.
I see.
Two fingers are stricken as fuck.
You've done it, I see. What use do you? I am a finger reader. I will remain here until their dialogue ends and the fingers speak again. Do as you please. Now you... You'd force this...
Power. Burn, O flame. Red Giant's Parade, a whip. Oh, fuck yeah. Every giant is red of hair, and Radagon was said to have despised his own red locks. Alright. Alright, stuff's happening. Stuff. Gonna make our way all the way back to Crumbling Farum Azula. I see something here. There we go. Based on my orientation. Ah, I see. So this is actually the roof over here. Alright, so we're gonna go back to that. Rudyard, I have not fought whoever the hell you're talking about. Sounds rad, though. I love that these little guys have jumps, too. Yuki goes, does that whip mean Radagon was part giant? Yeah, no, I was kind of wondering that same thing. I think that what it's... Jesus Christ, that's incredible. I think what it's revealing is that because red locks like that are of the giants... Wait, how did I get down there? I got down there. because they are of the giants, Radagon despised his own red locks because, you know, that's a trait that giants are supposed to have. Dwarf says, I just got here like 10 minutes ago and I'm missing context. Was Sean saying that Farum Azula, some sort of point of no return? Did I misunderstand what he was saying? I thought that I got dumped into Farum Azula because we were to be placed in a spot where the Erd tree would burn, and we needed to be safe away from here. I thought this was kind of what Melina was suggesting, / implying, / doing. Get out of here. The kindest favor of all time. Get the fuck out of here, man. What did I pick up? This is an actual question for chat. What did I pick up? I wasn't paying attention. I heard the dragon and just started to focus on what the dragon was doing. Smithing stone 8. Make it to Farum Azula? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. You fucking guys. Yeah, dude, these guys are grody. I don't like this loadout. Using this to block. Oh, it's so upsetting. Yeah, like Destined Death. Frenzied Flame. These things feel not like... They get presented not as like... not as like concept, but as like entities. Okay, good, that's staggering. That's what I was hoping for. I feel like Destined Death is... and the Frenzied Flame and the Void, I think these are... I think these are actual, like, god beings. And I actually can't tell if the two fingers and the, shit. I can't tell if the, Erd Tree and the two fingers are part of the same deity. I can't actually tell, but when I see these guys that kind of have this, they have a very I'm from Bloodborne and I am all about the old gods and all this shit, you know. They have that sort of feel to them. It makes me be like, okay. So maybe you're actually just of some sort of cosmic force and cosmic presence. Try erudition. Alright, let me give it a shot. There it is. I literally have no idea why it takes so long to happen. I need a cigarette. Thought the gesture happened on releasing the button. No, I'm still holding the button. Erudition dysfunction happens to everyone. Alright, so here's the lower. Excuse me. Can you not stand on that? Is there a way in? I wonder why this would allow me to shortcut everything. Oh, because it's literally the only way to get over here. I see. My cat, this is Desper. If erudition lasts for more than 4 hours, consult a physician. Jeez, buddy, that's so good. Oh, it's so fucking funny. It's actually good to know. Hi. Oh my god, look at this little darling. Yeah, sure, you know what? Let me just move my hand down here. So those guys are probably above me. Is there a way to quick emote without the motion controls? Yeah, apparently you can just go to the menu and select it. Oh. Bippity hoppity bippity boppity boo. Ouch. Ouch. Holy shit. Ouch. Because this should be a little island. Alright, hey. Come here. Hey, Speed. Come here. Stop knocking my stuff over. Come here. Did you get that chest armor? I did it by completing Patch's quests. in might knock him off here. Oh my god. Dude, I'd love to see it. Look, so there's the isolated Divine Tower. There's Garang's spot. There's the Divine Tower of Caelid. There's the Divine Tower of... No, I think that's actually West Altus. Yeah, I did it by defeating... Yeah, I mean, you do an Apache's quest, and he's like, yeah, go defeat Farmy McGarmy. Or what his name is. Something like that. I think Farmy McGarmy's accurate. Farmius McGarmius. There's a mega death boy. And is this the way back across this? Yeah, nice. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Alright. I think we might have an Elden Day Friday. Tomorrow I'm going to be going live a wee bit later. I'm going to be going live around 3 tomorrow. I normally do short days on Thursdays for errands, and the errands are going to be happening in the morning. A little laddering, and then on Friday, I think I'm just going to continue to play this fucking game. Because, dude, there's no way I'm going to beat this today. Maybe I will. I don't know. I mean, I sort of have a multi-part assumption. Then if I hit on the 4th time, I stagger. I don't actually know what to do when they stagger. I better stare. Oh yeah, we got Gravelstone babies. You know what? Why not? Let's... Why not? Why the hell not? Why wouldn't we? Oh, fuck. Those fucking stones, man. Where's my pots? Dude, why do I not? You know, let's just do some shit. Let's just do some fucking... Let's hit him with the grease. Holy damage. What? What? Alright, well, guess can't do that. Well, it would be too broken. Alright, this game's auto-aim. Waiting for my death route to finish. waiting for my death route to replenish. Esmeralda says, I'm staggered at how much of an easier time Sean has with these guys. Been running around screaming there for the most part and hoping to juke them. You know, like, this is one of the reasons why I focused on a great sword. Or a great club or a great hammer. Just something that, like, staggers more easily. That guy owned me because I was completely unable to stagger him. We're here, great. But it's just so nice to be able to just knock guys' shields over. Like, this makes enemies so much more straightforward to fight against. Alright, so we do have to go this. Go over here, drop down. This game is in every other CC is best. Well, we found the top laner. Really, I probably have the lion's share of responsibility for our success. Right, so I can go this way. Nucleotides says, I wanted to quickly thank you for setting up DK30 earlier this year. I took a goal to cook 4 days a week, didn't really succeed, but it was a launching point for me to cook and eat better. Since then, I lost 15 pounds by just cooking better and eating less. Here's a gift sub. Hey, thrilled to hear it, Nucleotide. Yeah, you know, I actually think that there's this whole underestimation of the difficulty of just, like, eating healthy and getting in shape. Because, I mean, it's so much just about, like, the habits and the difficulty of working against those habits. Like, alright, now that you know how to cook a meal, do you have time to get to the grocery store to actually get the ingredients to do it on a regular basis? And if you do that, that time had to come from somewhere, so what was that time? Rode says, I think I bombed my live code interview today. Any advice? Rode, don't even sweat it, man. Don't even sweat it. People bomb shit all the time. I bomb shit all the time, man. I have hosted whole shows that lasted for several days. And at the end I thought, yep, didn't do a good job of that shit. It's fine, man. It's fine. Because when it comes to, you know, when it comes to a live coding interview, you're trying to get a job. You only need one job. You don't need anything more than that one job. It's alright, man. It's alright. There's a sort of weird thing that I feel like is actually trained into people. I don't actually have a lot of evidence to support this claim, but I like claims without evidence. It makes me feel powerful. So, as a claim without evidence, I think that the way that people are raised in elementary school, college, from your parents at home, at least in America, it's, here's what you do to get the A. Here's the good behavior, the good answering. All right, come on. Do this. Hey, you got a B, which technically is still pretty good, but I want to let you know I'm dis-a-fucking-pointed in you, you know? And what happens is that you are told what to do, told what to do, told what to do. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And succeed, and don't ever do anything less than an A. People use those joking terms, A for efforts, all this shit. And you know what? Like, my experience of the quote-unquote real world is that that entire set of logic is absolute garbage bullshit. I mean, you're sitting here, you're going, I bombed a live coding interview. Guess what? All your favorite foods are still there. All the talent and skill that you have that will allow you to get a job in the future is still there. You're doing coding interviews, which means you're a coder, which means there is literally so many jobs that people that don't know what they're doing get $250K out of college. You're gonna be fine. Does it feel bad? Yeah, it can feel terrible, man. But in a way, why do things feel terrible? Well, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but your body is trying to help you. If you were trying to be funny, and you said a joke, and no one laughed, and you feel kind of bad, your body's trying to help you to not do that again. Your body's trying to give you a little bit of intellectual shorthand. If you play games and you make missteps, you'll physically feel bad. Like, just literally think about that. If you lose in a game of Dota, you will physically feel bad. About, like you'll have these chemicals that, you know, your heart will be beating, your face will be hot with irritation. Oh, I can't believe it, fuck that game up. Oh my god. Right, you'll be having all this whole collection of feelings and stuff, right? But we know that none of those feelings are actually going to help you get good at fucking Dota 2. We know that actually what went wrong is, you know, maybe some shit in the laning stage that you're going to adjust for your next game. Feeling bad is actually not going to fucking help you in the fight. And we know this. And what's your body actually trying to do? It's just trying to help you out. Sometimes when our bodies are trying to help us... Alright, hold on, I have to stab this guy in the head. Sometimes when our bodies are trying to help us, it feels like shit and is really annoying. Here's a great example. Sometimes before I have to do something that involves me talking in front of a group of people, I feel that anxious feeling. Oh god. Whew. Oh shit. Oh, what if I fuck it up? Oh my god. Want to know a time when I felt that? Go watch The Disturbance in Day 9 TV Town. Episode 1, Part 1. I feel that shit. My body's giving me adrenaline and angsty feels. Why? Why? Because my body's trying to give me energy. That anxious feeling is not because anything bad is happening. It's just because my body's giving me a bunch of energy. So you know what I do? I just burn through all the energy. So if I have to do some sort of broadcast during the day, like maybe I'm hosting, I would get up and I would run a lot in the morning. By waking up and running a lot in the morning, I would burn through some energy. You know some other shit that I would do? I just start talking a lot, just talking like crazy endlessly, like burning it. Burn the energy. And then when I'm live, I actually just feel a bigger sense of equilibrium because I've just been burning through, basically my body flooding the tank. My body is flooring it in terms of the energy output. So we gotta burn it, right? And so a lot of these negative feelings, these weird feelings, if you start thinking about them as your body is just trying to help give you information, sometimes you can actually pseudo-ignore what's going on. And I say pseudo-ignore because, like, for instance, I was really low on sleep maybe 2 weeks ago. My little dog had been waking me up. She had a little bit of an upset tummy, so I was, like, taking her outside at, like, 4 in the morning after I'd slept for a few hours and then struggled to go back to bed and so on and so on. I don't think there's anything up on these ones. So I'm going to go to here. And so, you know, like what happened is then I also had a bunch of really long work days. Whew. In addition to all of that. Early mornings, late nights, long streams, all this shit. And I felt really anxious. But you know what happened? I just said to myself, alright, my body's just trying to give me some energy. I better, just really kind of chill, maybe go on a longer walk, burn some of it off. I was a little tired to go on a walk, so I just told myself, hey, it's okay to just feel a little bad right now. Everything's fine. Everything is actually completely fine. So I just spent a few days, or no, excuse me, a few hours feeling like crap, but not thinking or concluding anything based on that. Just, yeah, no, I feel bad. You know, I don't know if this is maybe too stupid of a comparison, but these comparisons work for me. This is actually not a stupid comparison. This is the best comparison you've ever fucking heard. From humility to arrogance and nothing in between. This is Day Night TV. Here's the best comparison. You ever sprain your ankle? And you're like, ow, my fucking ankle hurts. It doesn't feel good. Dude, Beastmen of Farum Azula. Struggling, really losing some skin. When you sprain your ankle, it doesn't feel good. It's not like it doesn't hurt. But I don't necessarily... I'm not freaking out about it, right? I'm not freaking out about my ankle hurt. I'm just saying, oh, my ankle hurts. Oh, I see. I'm just going, oh yeah, it hurts. So, dude, Rode, in your shoes, where you failed job interview, or you bombed it, it feels bad, and it's okay for it to feel bad. You're going to get another interview another day. You can get 1,000 no's and 1 yes, and you have a job. You're doing just fine. Kind of even hilarious at times how when the stakes feel really high, they're actually like fucking low, man. Everything's fine. All right. I was talking to someone about this who worked at a startup, and there's this funny thing about shares in a startup. When you're at a startup, they'll be like, you're going to get, 10,000 shares. And with these 10,000 shares, if they wind up being $50 a share, that's $500,000, right? And maybe, at the early stage of your startup, maybe at the early stage of your startup, they're technically worth $5 a share. So that's $50,000. Holy shit. I had a friend who was in a situation like this. These weren't the exact numbers, because, again, I'm just doing it to make the math easy. She fucking, had a bunch of shares. The startup tanked, and the shares went to 0. And, I mean, she was just joking, yeah. Lost $3 million on Wednesday. Sucks, man. And it's just, it's all this kind of you lost the what if, not the actual what's happening. Because she was like, well, dude, I got paid. Still saving money. I knew it was a crapshoot. I knew it was 90% of the time it's going to fail. She's just making jokes about yeah, fucking lost $3 million. Doesn't that suck? Yeah. I was a millionaire, It's just all those things, those friends, just got fired from jobs and stuff. Dude, remember, I come from fucking esports, baby. Talk about a volatile-ass industry, man. Talk about lots of people being told, no, this is going to be great. And then fucking whole company shut down. Like, let's see. Of all the leagues I used to do casting for and tournaments for and like watch and follow, like all of them don't even fucking exist anymore. Except for like one or two. This guy's robust. Zossi says I still have an IPL shirt. Oh yeah, no, I mean I knew some of the guys at IPL that just got like not a lot of ways to put it. Those guys got fucked over, dude. When Ziff Davis bought IGN, they explicitly were like, and we don't want IPL. So funny. What was IPL? The IGN Pro League. Is MLG still around? Kind of. Oh, that's such a cool stagger effect. Stagger. It's kind of still around. It's technically owned by Blizzard. It had raised a bunch of money, and then my understanding is that it sold for less than it had raised to Blizzard. And now they do a lot of, you know, Call of Duty stuff. I think they do some Overwatch. I don't know. I don't really know. MLG does not have the same sort of identity that it once did. Bring back NASL. Well, we don't need to bring them back, NFCPM, because the NASL sound guy has never gone anywhere. He's still alive and well. This guy is just like such a jerk. So I mean, like I've been through, because like there's a really, I mean I have like a completely bizarre worldview on the notion of markets and, you know, how to think through and have and give market analysis and what all this shit means. Because let me tell you, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound abstract, and we're gonna make it concrete. All right, here's the abstract statement. It doesn't matter how many fucking sellers or participants in the market space there is. Once there's no buyers, that market is fucked. Great example. If there are 20 people who are 20 casting spots in StarCraft, 20, and maybe there's 30 people that are vying for those 20 spots. Well, what happens when 2 leagues shut down and now there's 8 spots? You know, like the whole notion of a market, on the job market, and all this sort of stuff. Like, oh, I almost walked right off the edge. There's a big assumption, which is that there's a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers, and everyone's all going in at the same time. So I see. I walked in through the bottom, and then I'm going to loop back around to the top this way. But again, when there's no buyers, you fucked. Interesting. Interesting. Alright. Hey, let's not... I mean, we're seeing this sort of thing with NFTs where, you know, once there stopped being as many buyers, there were just a bunch of sellers. Price is super duper duper ultra tanked. Hey, Panzer Bjorn, you sent me a long message, and I'm very sorry. I've been distracted, and I haven't responded. I'm really sorry. I need to get on that. And so, dude, like, I've been through this experience of, like, oh, hey, no buyers? Well, that's it. That's the entire game. This area rules, man. This might be my favorite area in the game, honestly. This place is fucking massive. Nice touch to have the rocks just endlessly floating upward. Like, dude, ow, what? I was holding my shield. I remember when the pandemic hit, I did a lot of work at live events. Most recently, I hosted the Magic the Gathering World Championship. Guess who didn't have a lot of hosting work when all live events were shut down? Yep, that's me. I got a lot of friends that work in production. Live production went down 92% in the pandemic. Right when it first hit. I had a lot of friends that were like, all right, well, guess I professionally live on my savings. I think it's going to be really hard to beat Nokron, and the Shifa River Valley is my #1 favorite area in the game, though. I think that's still it. I mean, I almost cried when I got to Nokron. It was so incredible. BDS. BDS Disco Inferno says that's why everyone needs to smash that sub button. Please, please subscribe. Oh, fuck, I need it. I'll be real. I know a lot of you are in the same financial system that I am, and things are tough. If you have a Twitch Prime sub, or want to gift subs, or want to participate in subbing, oh my god, we're eternally grateful. But, like, please, I'm under no illusions that I know money is tight for lots of people right now, so no stress at all. This is a curiosity. How did you come up with that 92% number? I mean, it was just a report that was floating around that, because I have a bunch of production friends who are like, dude, check this shit out. I mean, when you start getting into an industry, often there's, like, trades or bits of information. Like, literally, the film industry has trades. It may have actually been in the trades. I don't know. Pansy Bjorn gifting 10. Pansy Bjorn, thank you, but careful. You don't have to. Patrick Mende gifts 9. The reverse sub-train begins. I'm going to be getting up there. I think I do. Oh, fuck. Shit. Fuck. I'm Erdy. We just got to Crumbling Farum Azula, chucked our body right off the edge, and we're having a grand old time. Now, if I whiff this jump... But I mean, I find the idea of when models fall apart to be so fucking interesting. Because, I mean, models are just that. They're models. You know, like, the whole notion of supply and demand, like, just doesn't apply most of the time. Like, Like, it's so fun, especially in digital and entertainment, like with streaming. There's no supply problem. As many people as who want to tune in can tune in. There's an infinite supply of my stream. What I deal with is demand and demand. You've got to fucking be kidding me! Yeah, I remember I heard someone talking about, oh, supply and demand, economics 101. Yeah, and economics 102 is explaining how everything in economics 101 is actually not quite accurate and where the corner cases break down and all that sort of thing. But there's this... Oh. Stab him. Stab him. Oops. Yeah, but it's really funny when you know, because my entire career has largely been in super fringe entertainment, weird new media spaces. It's really funny just to learn about the ways firsthand that these analyses just like do not apply and have nothing to do with the way that reality is working for you. Alright, so... Woo! I fucking did it! Woo! Wax Sparrow says, I wouldn't say that streaming doesn't have supply and demand. No, I mean, it just literally doesn't. Like, there is not a scarcity of supplies, thereby increasing the price. And if you're trying to switch and change the definition of supply to mean something different than it means in a traditional supply and demand model, then what we're doing is we're just, again, still pointing to the fact that the initial model is nothing but a model, not like a beacon of truth, a beacon of understanding that explains how everything works. Like, for instance, if if I'm live and one other person is live, and it's just us two, how do I get more people to do my thing? Right? It's not that they can offer the same thing I'm doing at a lower price. Right? Like, I'm trying to just get the better content. In other words, I'm trying to create better demand, and that's it. It's, you know, I have heard the joke that in the digital landscape, it's not supply and demand, it's demand and demand. You're just trying to make something that people demand, and that's it. Because there's infinite supply. Now, the way it would be supply and demand might actually interact with this is, let's say that you had to pay money to watch any stream. Like, you had to pay $10. Then as there start to be more and more and more streamers, those prices might start to drop because, hey, there's now a supply of streamers that where you can actually start to describe the scarcity problem coming up where, you know, There's scant, scarce resources. Or I'm not explaining that well because I got in the middle of a fight and lost my train of thought. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, you know, it's actually like if I try to make this comparison, it starts to become so stupid and abstract. To where, again, I could ham-fist an example in to be like, it would be like if streaming was, and then I'm sitting here trying to review all the various properties I would have to do, like. And I mean, like again, there's actually a very, very simple point that I was trying to make that we got derailed on. Or I should say an interesting point that I got derailed on. That begins with this simple observation. 2 should do it. I guess 3 then? Huh? This is all to say that basic ideas that people have of models don't work in lots of cases. Supply and demand is like a really, really simple one. That in the digital age, it's very weird to use that model. That's it. That's all. That's the only point that I'm trying to make. And what I find interesting about this is that I find there's this like, it's like this human need to just always. God, fuck. What was the original point that I was trying to make with all that? Because the reason I was using supply and demand was to hop to what I actually wanted to talk about. I don't remember what the hell I actually wanted to talk about. Ah, the travails of playing a great game. What was I talking about? We were talking about when models break down. Yeah, why was I talking about when models break down? Why was I talking... What were we talking about just before then? Or did I said my interview? Yeah, did it have to do with your interview? It did. Oh, that's right. It was about the hosting stuff. Getting roasted, man. Yeah. There's all these sort of like models that we have of stuff that, like, you know, I have a really weird first-hand perspective on how they break down because, like, you know, I was experiencing working in, you know, early hosting in esports from the, like, yeah, when the market was literally 10 slots for casters. And then you run out of buyers, and there's actually no longer really a market. With a bunch of people going, well, shit, I guess half of us are out of work, huh? Ugh. Sick. Now that was esports right there. What was the last boss we beat? I think the fire giant. There was a large electrical dragon that we fought against, though. It's interesting because this map just does not match what I feel like I'm looking at. Unless it's this area that's way, way down. Oh, hey. Esports. That electric dragon is pretty sweet, though. See, like, when I see areas like this... I don't know if there's an area above all this that I'm supposed to be fucking seeing, because this just looks... some serious miserable garbage that people have lived through. Let's see here. Let's see. I love chatting about topics while I play this game. I play pretty slowly. These beastmen. Farum Azula. So this is probably... We're here from the other side, huh? Finishing this game this week, I feel like there's still another session left. Yeah, this was the other side, huh? You ever been into MMOs? Never have been. Roundtable. Oh, you fucking guys. Look. All right. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho. Look like a lot of good ways to drop down. Translation of this boss fight song? I did not. I did not. When I'm done with the game, man, I got some more digging to be doing. Wait. Oh, sorry. I thought you were a different place. Oh, wow, so I actually went in a big old circle, huh? Interesting. Oh, I see how this fucking place is connected together. I get it. Dude, they really were generous putting these pillars here, huh? So this is the Godskin Quattro. I hate that attack. Alright, nice. Nice! Smithing Stone Miners Bell Bearing 4? Fuck yeah. Alright. Nice. Superb. Very good. You ate that spin? Yeah, no, I mean, just 2-tap that boss? Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like we are absolutely built for this shit. I want to hear something that was just painful to me. Any of you heard of my friend Tristan? He fucking one-shot Melina. He doesn't even know how she works. I don't know. And this is before any patching nonsense. What build? I don't know. I don't know. I remember my face was hot, and I decided that I hated him. Oh, shit. I have a hard time believing that. Tristan has never lied once in his entire life. Ever. He has never lied. Ever. He has not even exaggerated. Why would you say I have a hard time believing that? Like, what are you doing? Do you think that I had a friend who lies, who then lied to me about Melina, and I was like, guys, let me really share something cool that I think is made up, but I'm here for the clickbait. Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. Why'd I even engage with that? So I've killed the Godskin Duo. Is there like a Godskin elevator? I'm so sorry. Well, you know what? I hope you go to some therapy and overcome this difficult time in your life where you just don't believe that Tristan one-shots shit, you know? Get out of here. Jesus. My children. So we're in there. Dude, you know, I actually think this is one of the most beautiful and moving maps where... Does it actually label this on the map? Because, like, if you look, here's actually an area where there's, like, trees and beauty, and you look, and it's just crumbling. It's just, I mean, I know it's called Crumbling Farum Azula, I recognize that, but what I mean is, like, literally... It's like, this thing must be shearing apart so quickly. Other path go. I also one-shot Melina on my 63rd attempt. Yeah, I one-shot her on my 90th attempt. Cheesy Bob says, anywho, the amusing thing for the Godskin boys is that they're super weak to sleep. A single hit from a sleep pot will put one to sleep, combined with the sword of St. Trino with a bleed sword and some sleep pots. Put the fat one to sleep with a pot, and stunlock the tall one with the sleep sword and bleed procs. Then can wake up the fat one, get him low. Yeah. So this will lead into this section, but I'm actually looking to crawl my way back this way. It's also possible that this path will lead to the area above, which is maybe where all these trees are. Yeah. Your quote and feeders has been watching you since StarCraft 2 days. Since then, not commonly, but I still very much enjoy your chill commentary and gameplay from time to time, especially Elden Ring. Thanks for the entertainment. We're happy to have you. Man, StarCraft truly is the best, ain't it? Just nothing quite like it. I was watching some StarCraft 1 last night. Look. Oh, is this it? Is it just all paths lead to here? Alright, well, this is the game. Watching Snow stream. Snow's a... Oh, I see. So this is how we get to some of these outer skirts. Got it. Watching Snow, who's like a really, really incredible Protoss player, particularly his PvZ I really love. I gotta admit, there's something I find so beautiful about how StarCraft is actually supposed to be played. Because, like, the thing is, okay, so, you know, I've played chess, I've played Go. These games are like proper strategy games, right? Where you're trying to think, you're trying to out-choose another person. You're trying to figure out where you want to place your stone or move your pieces and which piece to move. And it is about those choices. Dude, there's something like so irreplaceably fucking awesome about how StarCraft puts you in this position where you just get to be more powerful. Where it's like, dude, I don't care what you build. I will literally macro so fucking much better than you. Irby Dirtman says, I thought chess and Go were fundamentally math problems. What do you mean? I see. So really, we entered in through this bottom area, and there was like, there's just not very much here, and we're going to work our way back up, and we can peel back from above. Like, why am I here? Why am I standing on this? Because I can. This is an unusually vertically designed area. Does Crisis, isn't there a big difference between chess/Go versus StarCraft? As chess/Go are games of perfect information, but StarCraft, something like Magic, isn't? Yeah, let me actually, like, sort of hone in on what I mean by this. So StarCraft is a real-time strategy game, right? That's the genre. People talk about it as, like, super advanced strategy, you know, and how you can be so good at this game, and there's so much layers of richness and depth, but the execution, the button pressing, the sheer management difficulty is actually what a huge part of that game is about. Smishing Stone Shiba. That game is actually, in a huge way, all about how swiftly you can click, and are you building all your workers, and every structure that you make, are you making sure that they're maintaining activity and staying active and going and going and going and going and going and going. Fuck it. Fuck it, asshole. That's like what the game is about. And what I find interesting about StarCraft is that, again, it presents itself as, I'm a strategy game, when really it's more of a management game. It's more of a button pressing, swiftness thing first, and second is a strategy game. And on one hand, this is where a lot of the criticisms come from of StarCraft as a game from a lot of players, where they're like, man, I just wish it wasn't so much about the button pressing. I wish I could actually focus on the decision-making side of things. Which, on one hand, yeah, I think that's an incredibly fair statement. That's incredibly reasonable. But on the other hand, man, it is so fucking cool, that feeling of just literally out-managing someone. Dude, it's so awesome. I will do this area second. Transbjorn says, wouldn't you say that SC is more of a tactics game, not strategy? Tactics and strategy have really weak definitions. It's Minmin says, when are they going to release Chess 2? You can get it on Steam. You can literally look it up. It's Chess 2. Made by David Serlin, the fighting game player. This is a topic that comes up a lot. What's tactics and what's strategy? How do we define these? First of all, when we talk about definitions, it's really important that we actually have a goal in mind when we're speaking of definitions. And there's a goal that I always try to strive for, which is definitions only matter insofar as they allow you and me to communicate. So, for instance, let's imagine I said, I'm defining tactics as anything that takes place within 30 seconds. That is a really great way for you to understand what I mean when I say tactics. But if you say, well, wouldn't you say tactics is more like 45 seconds long? Immediately, I think the discussion loses any goal or purpose, because it doesn't matter. If we said, aha, it is 45 seconds versus 30 seconds, you know, who cares? The very next person we speak to, you know what we're going to say? We're going to go, hey, we had a discussion, and the way that we define tactics is things that can take place within 30 or 45 seconds. Oops. Holy shit, you live. So, first of all, the discussion of tactics versus strategy. Here is how I use these definitions, how I use these. And I want you to notice how non-strict these are. So first, I will, oh, look at you. Can't believe I actually saw that. That's actually pure luck. Interesting. So, Fans of Bjorn says, totally agree. You've emphasized this point many times. We need to agree on what we want to find as the terms. So, strategy, I have an easier time talking about. Strategy, for me, strategy is a couple of things. Overall, I would say that to me, strategy is a feeling of choiciness. And not of twitchy clickiness. It's choiciness. And we can get a little bit more concrete. When I say strategy, I mean things like, if I have option A and option B, if I choose A, I now have a different set of choices and tools than if I chose B. I would have a different set of choices and tools. This makes it feel choicey, right? Emotionally, when I pick one. And again, I'm not talking about functionally. Like, for instance, if you have a pistol that deals plus 10% damage to golems and another pistol that deals plus 10% damage to monsters. Yes, literally, one is better against golems, one's better against monsters, but if they're the same pistol doing the same thing, it's not like it feels like I'm doing an interesting choice. Again, I'm talking about the emotional feeling of choiciness, as opposed to the, no, fucking pushing finger up my nose, you can't disagree that this is a choice. So, for instance, I feel like one way in which something might feel like a strategy, feel a little bit choicy, is if you, in a strategy game, built a set of Marines, which are fast, high damage, and fragile, or some tanks, which are slow, sturdy, and have ultra-long range. Nice, now we're going all the way up. Perfect. But I think also, even perhaps more importantly than that, is that I think that if you choose A or choose B, this impacts what the choices that you can do afterwards are. So a really good example of this is that I'm using the Cross Naginata. I can choose this, or I can choose my Ruins Greatsword that I'm a huge fan of. Love my Ruins Greatsword. I think it rules. Yes, each of these do create... God, that's fucking horrifying. Each of these do create a different set of tools and skills and things that I can do. But there's something that just doesn't feel very strategic about switching between these, and I think that this is part of the reason why. Because it's just not affecting your future choices. You can switch between them at any point in time. I remember even hearing about this in early development of Heroes of the Storm. We're in early development of Heroes of the Storm. Whoa. Oh, there's a guy right behind me. Oh, very well. I heard about this with Heroes of the Storm, where in early builds of Heroes of the Storm, you could switch your hero at any time. Do you mean Blizzard Dota? I do mean Blizzard Dota, the real Tetro. I sure do. Yeah, when Heroes of the Storm was Blizzard Dota, you could literally switch your hero at any time. I think you had to like go back home, or like if you died, that would happen. Right, come on back, friendos. And you know, one of the things that they discussed at a BlizzCon is that they did away with that because it just stopped feeling. It didn't feel as interesting strategically. The players basically felt like all the decisions they made were always very impermanent. So this is just a framing. This is just when I say something feels strategic. I think this is a set of these things, which is that like you choose A or B, different things occur. But more importantly, if I pick A or B later on in the game, I actually feel like I have a different set of choices based upon what those initial choices were. And so like, and what does that second thing do? It creates a chain of choices. Well, because I was forced to choose A or B, I chose A, which put me in a different situation. And then I actually could then choose between X and Y. Whereas if I went with B, I would have had to choose between Z and W. And the time at which I do things actually matters. Like, earlier decisions affect later decisions. That's how I use the term strategy. With consistency. Does that mean it like that? And therefore, what about tactical? I tend to think about tactics as a start-to-finish sequence, where at the end of the, I think of tactics as kind of like that whole idea of if a strategy is something that is start-to-finish in a game, a tactic is something that is start-to-finish that can happen many times within a game. And typically I just say, yeah, tactics are things that, like, happen within, like, 30 seconds. And the thing is, I actually tend, more than anything, Panzer Bjorn, to literally not use the word tactics at all. Because I find that tactics, you know, I find the discussion of strategy versus tactics is often something that comes up for, like, instance, for people that play these really sophisticated war games, these really sophisticated tabletop war games, where, you know, your game is going to be taking place over the course of several weeks, 8 hours every Saturday. And so your strategy is the overall arc of what you're doing over your 12-week session, whereas your tactics is the way you fought a particular battle to succeed at something. And I think that for something that is as short as a game of StarCraft, I don't find any particularly super definitional usefulness about saying it's more of a tactics game than a strategy game. I like to talk about the twitchy, actiony, clicky, reflexy side, and then the more choicey, thinky, decision-making side. And I actually prefer those words to, like, strategy and execution and shit like that. Good job, me. Dude, that's so cool. I actually saw that he was coming due to a shadow. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm, like, trying to read what you're saying, Panzer, and I just keep forgetting I'm in a video game here. Oh, shit, I have no stamina, and I must scream. Just use more words. Oh, I love using more words. More words are my favorite. But I think that, like, with that in mind, I would say that StarCraft has incredible dependency. Like, your decisions have incredible dependency on what you did earlier. Like, for instance, if you go barracks, factory, barracks versus barracks, barracks, factory. Lots of things wind up shifting and changing as a result of that decision. Lots and lots and lots of things. God, that sequence was so Esports. And what's especially cool, I think, about StarCraft as a game is that how well you execute also affects your decisions. And that, I think, is the real amazing aspect of it, where there's lots of games where your actions matter. Like, for instance, in Rocket League, your ability to successfully pilot that little car can score you points, and your ability to maneuver around can help you block them from scoring points, get new ways to score points at weird angles, interesting passing passes, sweet passing plays, interesting passing passes. But there's never something like when you get really good at maneuvering your car that suddenly you get a new button that you didn't have before. Like, that doesn't occur. Let me briefly adjust these audio levels. Did I actually accidentally turn this up? down just a smidge. There's this other path that I think leads to the same area from this way. Yeah. And I think that is what the exciting, brilliant, cool, sexy part about StarCraft is. It's that if you are good enough at pressing the buttons and good enough at managing your base, managing your army, managing your workers, you literally get new capabilities. Which I think is, like, really, really, really fun. Like, I mean, just imagine if you were so good, like, if, for instance, you were able to hang... Oh. Well, that's lucky. If you were able to hang in the air for a certain amount of seconds, that you got a new move in Rocket League. That's really why I like StarCraft. That's the description. Nova says, does ignoring words run the risk of complicating simple decisions people make? Tactics and strategy can focus in on momentary decisions like choosing barracks versus factory, but it becomes complicated because of the decisions the opponent makes. Maybe I'm not explaining my idea well here. Yeah, I would love for you to elaborate a little on what you mean. I think it's an interesting discussion. But I think, like, using your example of, like, okay, do I go barracks, barracks, factory, or barracks, factory, barracks? Each actually has a lot of implications for what, you know, I may as well use one. Looking at that example of, you know, barracks, barracks, factory, or barracks, factory, barracks, are these tactical decisions? Are they strategic decisions? I think the important thing for me, personally, when talking about this, is the idea that each of them has these properties that they feel different in gameplay. Like, they give you different moment-to-moment tools. Like, if you go barracks, factory, you can have tanks to defend. If you went barracks, barracks, you don't. Is that tactics? Is that strategy? I don't care. I think it's interesting that it has that property that they feel different, and the early decisions you make affect the later decisions. And people, there's a big difference between finding an agreement about definitions as a manner of digging deep into something and trying to build a better understanding of something. There's a difference between that. And if you came over to my house and we were hanging out and you're like, dude, I had this really cool strategy where I went for 3 factory with no add-on and made a bunch of Hellion, and then while they were messing with me, I just got 3 add-ons and I went mass tanks. And then that way, I can defend against their push, and then I have this tactic later where I, you know, siege all these tanks up on the high ground and fuck with them, right? Like, I'm not going to yell at you and be like, excuse me, I think what you mean is choicing. Like, I know exactly what you mean when you're talking about strategy and tactics in this social setting. But I mean, you know, if we were working on a project together and you're like, Sean, I'm worried this game isn't tactical enough, I would be like, first, let's agree on a more robust definition of this. That way we can talk about it. But really, what color was that dress? Ooh, got another good story for you. Various says, do you think that is meaningfully more true for StarCraft than Rocket League? It certainly seems to me that skilled Rocket League players have access to more moves due to their ability to reproduce specific outcomes. Yeah, I mean, like, for instance, you might say, well, Sean, you know, in basketball, if I'm not athletic enough to dunk, and then I become athletic enough to dunk, would you say that unlocks a new move? And I am rather trying to let you know, StarCraft literally creates those new buttons, not conceptually, in a kind of gist way, gives you access to a certain sensation that feels like you're doing something different. I mean, like, literally, if you are good at making workers, you will be able to have 3 production structures instead of 2. You literally get access to a whole new thing in a super concrete way. Not in any sort of abstract, opinion-driven, like, well, I wouldn't say that's a new move. Like, literally, you are getting more shit based upon your ability to execute. Oh, hi. Syl says, Syl said something about, wouldn't you say that... Alright, Syl, I'll be unable to read your message for a second. Let me try to see if I can get to it. Man, the practice against that first dragon was really helpful. Alright, it's time to jump. Says, is it accurate to state that tactics form part of your strategy? Again, I would just say that, like, if you and I are just having a conversation, you know, we're just shooting the shit, we're chatting it up, having a nice time. Great, here's where I came from. Here's where I fought that other dragon down there. I mean, sure, but for me, I want to stress that what I am saying is not, here's the right definition, here's the wrong definition. Here's the good way to describe this sort of stuff. Here's the bad way to describe this sort of stuff. It's literally so scary. I'm saying that when it comes to you and I having a conversation, there's 2 kinds of conversations that we can have. One is where we're just 2 people hanging out chatting. In which case, I don't care. Comments like, hey, I had some tactics that felt like building blocks to a larger strategy. I'd be like, sure. But if you and I were working on a project, or really trying to dig deep into the qualities of a particular game and try to identify what we thought was good or bad, why we thought things were good or bad, how we might want to change those things, it's really important that we hit upon certain definitions. And I was giving a set of definitions that I tend to use, not because I think that they are the best description of it, but just because this is the way that I would tend to think about things and discuss things. Oh my god. My jar pal.
Ah, I see you finally made it here yourself. The city hanging in the air is slowly crumbling. What an incredible place we find ourselves. But that aside, I can't believe you felled that giant. It was practically a god. I doubt there's another soul out there who could have done the same. Of course, I count myself the great Alexander among many. Which means I've but one thing to ask of you.
Would you beat the shit out of me?
Would you kindly undertake my ordeal?
No matter what,
Come
dude.
and tell me when you're ready. I've been longing to fight a warrior as accomplished as you. You are ready then? Then let us begin. I am the great Jar Warrior, Iron Alexander. Lend me strength, O warriors. Let us become one champion together.
Oh my god. It's pathetic.
As I suspected, victory was impossible. My thanks. I knew you were the stuff of champions. It was a marvelous battle. I implore you, take what I bequeath from inside me. All vessels are destined to one day break.
That's such a
The
sad
great
line.
Alexander lived as a warrior to his last.
Keepsake of the warrior jar Alexander, found at the core of the dead flesh that once filled the great jar. Alright, I mean, we're going back to Jarberg, man. What thing is that? What category was his shit in? What kind of thing was that? It was a talisman. Scraps of stewed flesh cling to the shard, and tatters of ornaments can be seen mingled within the slime. Relics of a red-haired champion, it would seem. God, I want to fucking my guy. Alright. Well, this is it. 19 says, I would say strategy and tactics are two vague terms which are relative to each other in terms of scope. Strategy deals with a complete and overarching view of observed systems and long-term goals related to that system, while tactics deals with specific self-contained part of the observed system, with short-term goals. Now, how you apply these concepts and how they practically look depend on the system we're observing. Yeah. So like, everything you just said is a great conceptual framework. But, like, I'm gonna go a little extreme, because I actually think that you just have a really great set of descriptions. I think that's just good. Don't think that what I'm about to say implies I think it's not good. But, you guys ever been in a meeting where you have two people that are quibbling about semantics for an hour and nothing's fucking getting done? You ever been in one of those fucking meetings? I've been in those meetings. And what I like to do is I like to quickly get out of those situations as quickly as possible. Err on the side of action. Do shit, man. Do stuff, do stuff, do stuff, do stuff. And so, in one regard, I've kind of said the things that I actually have been striving to say. And though I think that everything you just said is a very reasonable framing, for me, like, let's say you and I were in a meeting, and we went, okay, like, you and I were just like, okay, Nantine, you were like, okay, so, Sean, how are you going to use these words? And I would say, I use them like this. Tactics, in the context of an RTS game, I'd say are like 30 seconds or less. And strategy is the rest of the shit. Kind of like what's happening the whole game. And imagine you went... Imagine you were like, okay, but, you know, don't we think that it just depends upon the system of observability? I'd be like, yo, Nantine, we really got to get some shit done today. And you'd go, yeah, sure. And then we'd go get some shit done. Maybe after work, we're going to a bar, or dinner, having some drinks, hanging out, chatting. Maybe it might be interesting to dig into some of this stuff. Says Dan, I'm politely calling bullshit. No, I just don't think it's bullshit. I mean, I literally don't think it's bullshit. Like, dude, I fucking have an art degree, okay? And we would be in fucking, you know, my master's program sitting there discussing, what is immersion? What does immersion mean? And a lot of really interesting, ultra valuable insights came out of that. Because when you're sitting there discussing the sort of philosophical meat of something, what is immersion? You know, you actually get these really nice statements, some of which have been really foundational to what makes a lot of games feel great. So, for instance, you know, I remember, this, again, it sounds very philosophical, and it is. You know, I remember someone saying, you know, I think that the biggest thing that makes things feel immersive is a sense of impact that I have on the world. It's the fact that I did something. And, you know, a designer or developer could be like, okay, well, what do I do with that? What do I do with that? Well, Valve took this. Oh, shit. Oh, this is a different thing. Yeah, Valve took this to mean that, like, we should actually have physical reactions for every player action. And it was one of the very first games to have bullets that would hit the wall and stick to the wall for, like, ever. And have lots of physics and realism in the game. So from this sort of more philosophical discussion, actually emerged some interesting actionables. And I think that really it's not about one is bullshit and one is not. But rather there's a time and place for each. And if we're in a meeting trying to get some shit done, I'm going to err heavily on the side of action. This is really the guy that I'm most worried about. So I wanted to clarify that because I don't want anyone thinking that I was looking at Nantine being like, oh, fucking one of these people. So I have some reasonable certainty that I've trudged through all the relevant areas here, but I want to double check just to be sure. Oh, no, you're all good for it, man. Don't worry about it. But this comes all the way back to, like, you know, how do I think of StarCraft as a game? I do think of StarCraft as, first and foremost, a management game. But I think the thing that makes it feel really fun and rich is that people like that sense of I make choices and it affects my future choices. So it's fun to make more choices because it's affecting my future choices. And oh my gosh, it's a feedback loop of excitement that you feel in so many games. Then that it feels like you can click fast enough and accurately enough. And with enough study and dedication, you can start to see ways in which your clicking lets you do new things, and that's really thrilling. Stab the ghost. So... oh, you dick. Way to get up to that top area. Oh shit. Forgot to kill his ghost. We're way up here. I may as well just fight. Go back to this guy, to our caster pal. Ah, fuck. Oh yeah, this guy doesn't stagger on that. Cool if I do it one more time. Woo! There we go. Yeah, that's what I think makes StarCraft cool. Yeah, there's this whole area up here. I don't actually think I found a way to get up to. I want to hunt for that. Let's see if we can find a way up around here. The sound is really well done on that twister to be both ominous, but not like so overpowering that it's. Because, I mean, like, tornadoes are, like, so scary, it's really easy to make them, like, too fucking scary, man. Like, Jesus. I don't know if you guys have seen or played Outer Wilds. Easy Louise. That is... one scary-ass game. Oh, he comes back? I'm just getting the fuck out of here, man. There might be a way up there. Nice. Oh, hate that. Alright. Oh, what? Alright. Alright, I actually think that probably I can't even get up there, huh? Which means it's actually time to return back. Alright, I just want to do one more look-see. I mean, it's entirely possible you just can't get up there. I mean, there's areas that look like this. In all manner of places around the game. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. We found the way down, though. It's good. This place has a lot of ways down. Jesus. Alright. These guys are fucking everywhere. So I'm actually going to assume that there's anything. There's anything to do here that I think that I've actually gone through and done this whole area and come all the way back up here. Incredible. So now we're going to journey out towards this way, go through this area. Might even do this. Alright. Let's rest and level up a little bit. And I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to use the restroom. We're going to take 3 minutes. Old Bone Eyes needs a little scritch. Needs some love, all that good stuff. Kill the Queen says, hey, it's me, Are you Melania Blade of Mikola? I thought I recognized you. And also, we got to make a trip to Jarburg. But we'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.